society, it's cool. It's popular to say, oh yeah, you go sis, uplift other black women, praise black women when they have their degrees or when they're boss chicks. But in reality, like when you guys sit back, how much of that is genuine applause? Like, I'm willing to bet majority of that is hate disguised as I'm rooting for you. And I think that we need to look into what this invisible beef that it is between black women. We cannot continue to ignore. But before I get into all of that, let's clear this energy because we do have a lot to unpack here. And I see, like, okay, like there's this one life coach that she's in the blogs now. I'm not too familiar with her, but apparently she's been scamming people. And then I seen another one, a real estate agent, a black woman. Apparently she's been scamming people also. But when they're on top and they're appearing as if they're doing it, that they're so successful, people are cheering them on. They want to get on their program. But here's when the blackmail comes in. Well, not blackmail, more so backstabbing. These same women are in the blogs now because they're scamming other black women. They are making, allegedly, let's say allegedly, because I don't know these people. I'm just hearing it from other sources. So I can't really tell you guys what's going on with it, but I'm just using this as an example. But they're taking advantage of other black women, the same black women that they got to trust them, and now apparently they're running some shady business. They're doing some shady dealings. We don't know, but we like to paint the picture or an illusion that, us black women, we stick together. There's no animosity towards each other, but we have these shows like Baddies where black women are put against each other and they get up on there to fight, to intentionally cause harm to one another. And here's what's so diabolical about that, because the host of that show is a black woman. She finds people, black women, that have their own issues, their own mental health breakdowns, their own emotional trespasses. Oh, there's a red cardinal. She finds these women, she puts them all together. So she's taking everybody's trauma and putting it together in a house. And she knows that something is going to come from this. She's playing on their trauma to profit herself. She's playing on their trauma to make these girls look silly. She's playing on their trauma to shed black women in a negative light, because everybody's going to see those women and assume that all black women behave that way. And it's like, what if all of those women, just played, faked it, and got on that show, and then they get on that show and they don't fight at all. They don't argue at all. They just have like cordial conversations with one another, educated conversations, financial conversations with one another. That would be boring, right? That would be them going against the grain, and the show would shut down. Even like on the classiest of shows, like the Real Housewives shows and, Married to Medicine, there has to be some type of tension between women, and black women are going to get the ratings up. Why is that? What is this negative, like, middleman beef that black women have amongst each other? And I think I know what it is. I think it's programming, and we've been programmed from a very young age to have a problem with other black women. But I'm going to get into that on another video, because I am going to talk about my programming. I'm going to say the yucky stuff out loud, because we got to get to the bottom of this. We got to figure it out, because we can say black women are great, great, great all day. Black women are the most educated and yada, yada, yada. But we don't fully want to look at ourselves. We don't fully want to dive deep. We only want to showcase like the good stuff. And everybody is just not, you just don't come out just polished and well put together. You have to go through some trials and some deep healing and some emotional, mental healing to even come close to getting there. And I think we're just trying to outdo each other so bad, so much, that we would want to tear each other down. Like, how many black owned, black run companies do you guys know of that everybody's getting together that's in there? Or, because this is another thing that we do within the black community, and I can't figure it out. If there's a bunch of black people, a majority of black people working at a company together, why is somebody sleeping with somebody? Don't worry about what the other races are doing, because we like to shed ourselves in a positive light. Why do we do that? Why do we get on the job and just because we have the same skin complexion in common, that we're going to be messing around with our coworkers? I've seen this a lot, and this is what I'm bringing up. And that's another thing that us as black individuals, black women, we so badly, so much, so often compare ourselves to white women. Why do we need to do that? Why are we comparing ourselves to white women when they have their own people? Like, they have their own group. Hispanic women, they have their own group. We are our group. How can we build our group up when we're so focused on comparing ourselves to white women or Hispanic women? Like, let's look at our ancestors. Like, let's take it back and look at how polished the black women were, like in the 70s and the 60s, in the 40s, 20s. Look how polished and put together that they were then. Let's not bring the men in, because those are different times. Like, times change. Like, look how our women used to dress. Look how our women used to wear their hair. Look how intimidated others used to be by our women just for being them. Now we're living in a time where we have to be compared. We have to compare ourselves to other people to try to fit in, or to try to tear the next black woman down. Why is it that we do that? And my channel isn't just about black women, but I am black, so I can only speak from my black experience. My channel is for all women, but I truly believe that all women need to start having this conversation, because it's not just black women that have like a problem with each other. I think other groups just hide it pretty well. And being that we're not white, we're not Hispanic, we're not Asian, we don't know what's going on in you guys' group. But maybe y'all can tell us, like, yeah, we have the same problem. Like, this is what goes on, and, or da da da. We just hide it because women are just catty. Like, let's be for real. Women are just catty, and it's okay to be like a little bit of catty, but to the point where you're tearing somebody down, like whether it's their financial situation, whether it's their relationship. You know, we have women that would intentionally sleep with their best friend's boyfriend just because of jealousy. And you know, that says more about you as an individual woman than it says about that other woman. Like, I had a friend. She used to make it her business to mess with any guy that like showed me any type of attention, and it was just like, oh, okay. Because a lot of the times I was not having sex with these guys. It was just, oh, they think that I'm pretty, and that's just it. And she's like, oh, you think she's pretty? I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and sleep with him. So it's like she was tainting them. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So like, your bodies are building up because you're driving yourself nuts trying to have sex with every guy that just gives me a compliment, and you're just racking up bodies. And so it was just like, oh, okay. And now she's like in terrible mental health straits right now. And I'm just not, because I don't know. I just never had any interest in these guys, and I don't like to see other women hurt, because seeing them hurt, that means I'm hurting myself, because we're all one. We're all an extension of one another, and if I tear somebody down, then that's a reflection of how I feel about myself, for me to intentionally just want to go and do this to make somebody feel as bad as I feel bad. And, I'm just walking off and leaving them to pick up the pieces. That's just something that I'm not. That's not a person that I am. But let me know you guys' story down in the comment section. What is this invisible beef between black women or just us as women, and how did we get here? I say it's our upbringing, but I will tell my story in the next video. I will talk to you ladies in the next one.